Imagine you are LeBron James, a free agent for the first time in years, and a team walks into the room with the boldest sales pitch of the entire summer. Not more money, not sunshine. They look you in the eye and say, "Come to Minnesota, win here, and you will end the GOAT debate forever." That is the pitch the Timberwolves reportedly made. So today, we are pulling back the curtain on that meeting slide by slide. The legacy hook, the roster fit, the real odds, and whether any of it actually holds up. Let's break it down. So here is the pitch deck, the way I imagine Minnesota laid it out. Slide 1, the legacy, the GOAT debate hook. Slide 2, the fit, how he plays next to their young star. Slide 3, the winning, the real projection and the odds. And then the part they would never show him, the weak points. The reporting is real, the breakdown is my read. This is Game is Culture. Quick thing first, if you like breakdowns that get inside the room instead of just reading the headline, subscribe, because this pitch is equal parts brilliant and delusional, and you will want to hear both sides. Slide 1, the hook, and it is not about basketball at all. It is about immortality. According to John Krasinski of The Athletic, the Timberwolves have ramped up their pursuit of LeBron with full belief that they are truly in the hunt. And the centerpiece of their pitch is not a system or a paycheck. It is the oldest argument in sports, the GOAT debate. Minnesota is reportedly selling LeBron on the idea that winning a title in their uniform would settle it once and for all. And this is not a courtesy call or a long shot they are just kicking around. Here is how Krasinski framed how serious it is. Quote, "The Timberwolves have ramped up their push for LeBron James with full belief that they are very much in the hunt." Full belief. That is a front office that thinks it can actually pull this off. But the hook, the actual pitch, is bigger than basketball. In plain terms, quote, "Winning a championship in Minnesota could end the GOAT debate." That is the whole play, not come chase a ring, come do the one thing that would put you above everyone who ever played. And here is why it is actually clever, not just a slogan. The Minnesota Timberwolves have never won a championship, not once in franchise history. So the argument goes like this. If LeBron can win a title for a team that has never had one with a fourth different franchise at 41 years old, he would have done something no one else ever has, not even Michael Jordan. It is the ultimate value argument, dressed up as a recruiting pitch. Bold does not begin to cover it. Slide 2. Okay, the legacy sizzle is nice, but does the actual basketball fit? This is where the pitch gets stronger than people think. Because the centerpiece of the fit is this man, Anthony Edwards, 24 years old, already a top 5 scorer in the league at almost 29 a game, on nearly 40% from 3 and elite efficiency. The pitch to LeBron is simple. You would not have to carry this. You would have a young superstar to hand the torch to and to lean on right now. And this is the kind of night the Wolves would put on the projector. Anthony Edwards, 42 points at Golden State, 13 makes from the floor, and a perfect 12 for 12 at the line. Look at the spread, rim, mid-range, and deep. This is the co-star LeBron would play next to, a 200-pound flamethrower who can win a game by himself. That is a very easy thing to sell. And Edwards is not even the only young star anymore. This offseason, Minnesota traded for LaMelo Ball, a dazzling 20-7 playmaker, a walking highlight who can run an offense. So the pitch to LeBron is not come save a team, it is come quarterback 2 young stars who are already here. On paper, a backcourt of Edwards and LaMelo plus LeBron is an absurd amount of shot creation. And the roster needs still lines up. Minnesota lost its top 2 power forwards this offseason, so there is a real forward spot open. But the bigger sell is the co-stars. LeBron would slide in next to Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball, with Rudy Gobert protecting the rim and Jaden McDaniels guarding the other team's best wing. On paper, that is elite scoring, elite playmaking, rim protection, and perimeter defense, all on one roster. The offensive ceiling is enormous. Slide 3. So the fit works, but can they actually win enough to make the legacy pitch real? Here are the numbers. Start with the baseline. Last season, the Wolves won 49 games and made the playoffs before losing in a tough series. This was not a lottery team begging for help. This was a very good team, one real creator short of the next tier. Add a still elite LeBron James to a 49-win group, and my read is they jump into the mid-50s, somewhere around 54 wins, and firmly into the contender conversation out west. But here's the slide the Wolves would rather skip: the competition. Even at 54 wins, look who is ahead of them. Oklahoma City won 64, San Antonio won 62. The West is a gauntlet. LeBron would make Minnesota better, clearly, but better does not automatically mean champion when two historic teams are sitting at the top of your own conference. So put a real number on the pitch. My read is that LeBron makes them a top 4 seed and a team nobody wants to face in a series. But to actually win the title, the thing that supposedly ends the GOAT debate, they would have to climb over the 2 best teams in basketball in a 7-game grind, with a 41-year-old as a load-bearing piece. Possible? Yes. Likely? That is a much harder sell than the highlight reel suggests. So let's do the part of the meeting they skipped, the real strengths and then the real weak points with LeBron on the roster. First, the strengths, because they are real. A core of LeBron, Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, and Rudy Gobert is a genuinely frightening amount of talent. 2 dynamic young scorers, the greatest playmaking forward ever to organize them, and an elite rim protector behind it all. The spacing is there, 6th in the league from 3, and the offense could be one of the very best in basketball. On pure firepower, this is a top-tier roster in the West. Now the weak points, and this is where it gets tricky. You would have 3 players who all need the ball: LaMelo, Edwards, and LeBron. That is a lot of shot creation and only 1 basketball. Worse, the defense is a real question. LaMelo is a defensive minus, and pairing him in the backcourt with a 41-year-old LeBron is a matchup teams will attack. Even with McDaniels and Gobert cleaning up, add LeBron's age, the lost front court, and a brutal West, and the margin is thinner than the highlight reel suggests. So the big question, does this pitch actually work? Does it make sense for LeBron? And could it really end the debate? Here is my read. On my dial, the pitch is brilliant, but the outcome is a long shot. The fit is a 9 out of 10. Minnesota genuinely has the young star, the spacing, the defense, and the exact positional hole for him. But the promise, ending the GOAT debate, requires a championship, and that means beating the best 2 teams in the sport with a 41-year-old. So the meeting is a home run. The title, the thing that actually settles the debate, is the hard part. So here is where I land. This is the most audacious pitch of the entire offseason, and the wild part is, it is not crazy. The basketball fit actually works. LeBron next to Edwards, LaMelo, and Gobert would be a real problem. But the pitch sells the ending, a ring that rewrites history, and it quietly skips the mountain in the middle, a Western Conference with 2 60-win monsters. It is a swing for the ages. The landing is the hard part. So that is the sneak peek at the craziest pitch meeting of the summer. Minnesota selling LeBron on the idea that a ring in Minnesota ends the GOAT debate for good. So tell me, if you are LeBron, do you take the swing, or is the West too tall a mountain to climb at 41? Drop it below. And we are so close to 2,000 subs, so subscribe to stay up to date.